All right. Well, I want to invite everyone to stand, and let's start with our opening song today, Alive with Spirit. I am alive, alive with spirit. I am alive, alive and free. I am alive, alive with spirit. I am alive, spirit flows through me. I am alive, alive with spirit. I am alive, alive and free. I am alive, alive with spirit. I am alive, spirit flows through me. I am alive, spirit flows through me.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Donald Green. You can call me Donaldo. And I'm your trustee today on behalf of Reverend Donna Maurer, the practitioners, and your board of trustees. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are and wherever you are in your spiritual path, here you'll be validated, supported, and encouraged to be all that you were meant to be. Our vision statement, I think you all know it. Our vision statement is love in action every day and every way. And we express this by learning the principles of the science of mind. On the back of your bulletin, you will find our declaration of principles. If you would join me, please. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. And I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. Do we have any first-timers here? Yes. Would you mind introducing yourself, please? Very good. Welcome. You have good company. Anyone else?
Kelly Rivers. I was here a long time ago.
Welcome. Kelly is from Tubac, and he claims to be a friend of Byron. I think we have some other people. Yes. Welcome, Joanne. And some of us remember, most of us remember, Joan. Welcome back, Joan. It is so good to see you. Have we missed anybody? Okay. I'd like to thank you for helping make this Sunday celebration what it is today. We would ask all the people who are new here, if you won't mind, staying afterwards and join us with some refreshments. We get to know you a little better and you to know us a little bit better. Please direct your attention, if you would, to the announcements in the bulletin. First,
If you are joining us for the first time, please join us with our Namaste song inside the first page of your bulletin. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. It in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste, namaste.
Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to see everyone here, and you girls look beautiful in your summer looks. Such a nice sunny day to be thankful for. So first, I'd like to light the candle. That represents that divine light that shines out of each one of us. That divine light of love. So let's settle in for a few words to begin our day with love and joy, and to be grateful, to be compassionate, and to celebrate this day together. We are so blessed to have lovely people here that we don't get to see very often. We are grateful for this center and for our wonderful Reverend Donna, who never ceases to amaze and teach us things that we can carry with us the whole day. So I give thanks one more time for each one of you. Each one of you beautiful, loving souls. Thank you for being here. And so it is. Well, I'd like to share a demonstration. I've been by myself for the last 3 weeks or beyond with pretty bad back issues. And so I did a treatment for myself, and I affirmed that I would have more people in my house. And then I had a bad wound on my left shin, and I was going to a doctor who treated it every Wednesday. And he informed me that I would be seeing a nurse every Monday and Friday to care for my wound. And then he said, would you like to have some physical therapy while this is going on? I said, absolutely, thank you. He said, well, we will be sending a physical therapist who will be with you twice a week. So here came the boss to welcome me, and we had an immediate connection. She's just a great gal, compassion and caring. And then here came the sweetest little nurse in her early 20s. She looked like to me, a little butterfly. And so then came my wonderful physical therapist, who was funny and caring, and I loved all of them. So I've seen them all enough now that I'll be so sorry when this is all over. But I was informed by the boss that just because my wound was going to be healed, I could keep everyone for as long as I wanted. I said, I didn't know that. about in-home care. And so that was another gift. So hallelujah and thank you, God. I like to use the Science of Mind magazine because it is filled with wonderful things, with daily guides and articles. And if you're not getting one, please, please enrich your life by reading those articles and the daily guides. Please, please, you'll love it. Okay, I found something, it's a little old, but it spoke to me. It says, the page was called Filled with Beauty. And the first little affirmation said, compassion becomes real when we recognize our shared humanity. And the next one was, compassion and caring are the ties that bind us together in mutual understanding and in the unified attempt to uncover the divinity in each one of us, by Ernest Holmes, our dear Ernest Holmes. Compassion and caring, in 2015, Shiro Ogundi opened a pop-up restaurant in Tokyo and hired elderly waiters and waitresses diagnosed with various stages of dementia as waitstaff. It was named the Restaurant of Mistaken Orders. Ogundi became inspired to bring compassion to those who were isolated and suffering in memory care group homes. He thought there should be more opportunities to keep them included in society. In interviews, Ogundi shared his vision of helping society become increasingly more caring, more beautiful, and more easygoing. Clientele understood they might not receive exactly what they ordered. At times, waitstaff could forget they were actually working and sit down with customers for conversation. That was my mom all over. Whatever happened, the atmosphere promoted relaxed acceptance. Today, pop-up versions continue in Japan, and restaurants of mistaken orders are being considered in other parts of the globe as critical care initiatives due to the increasing rising of dementia. Content creator Neil Ford shared his experience of being there. He said it reminded him of an old folk tale about the woman who carried water home every day from the river using 2 buckets at either end of a bamboo pole. One bucket was new, the other was old, with splintering wood. When she got home, the new bucket would still be full, but the old bucket leaked out half of its water. The old bucket felt bad and useless, apologizing to the woman for no longer being able to do its job very well. The woman turned and pointed back to the path she had taken and said to the old bucket, "Do you see all these flowers on your side of the road? Every day you water them. Every day my walk is filled with beauty, thanks to you." And the affirmation says, on the bottom says, "I see beauty all around me." I loved that. I hope you did too. So now I have to stop talking and take the candle and hold the high watch for you all.
Rosie's wonderful talk today. I don't think this song is a coincidence. It was written in 2020 to the very day, May 19th, 2020. And it's called The Beauty of You. I see the beauty of you. I feel the joy of you. I know the grace of you. You are magnificent. If you'd like to join me in singing it, I'll sing it one more time and then you can join in with me. I see the beauty of you. I feel the joy of you. And I know the grace. I know the grace of you. You're magnificent. You are magnificent. I see the beauty of you. I feel the joy of you. I know the grace of you. You are magnificent. Please turn to a neighbor and let them know these words, that you mean them. I see the beauty of you. I feel the joy of you. I know the grace. I know the grace of you. You are magnificent. And to your other neighbors. I see the beauty of you. I feel the joy of you. I know the grace of you. You are magnificent. You are magnificent. You are magnificent. And you are. Thank you so much for singing with me. Beautiful.
Thank you. It's a pretty song. Pretty earrings, too.
Color.
Yeah. Good morning. Our theme this month is good to great to grand. And, as I said before, we can look back over our life and we can see, the trajectory it's taken, especially if we've walked a spiritual path. I can remember not having a spiritual path, and I was a completely different person. I mean, really and truly. And our topic today is not from the minister's field things. Well, I'm sorry, but I really don't like this whole month. But I chose the power of intention. Because if we're moving from good to great to grand, then setting intentions should be in our toolkit. I like the topic, but setting intentions and knowing what intentions really are can create a whole new way of looking at our lives. According to Deepak Chopra, intention is the starting point of every dream. It's the creative power that fulfills all of our needs, whether for money, relationships, spiritual awakening, or love. Everything that happens in the universe begins with intention. When I read that, I think of the scripture, because it says in Genesis,
and God said, "Let there be," over and over and over. That's an intention. That's a spiritual intention. And if we think about that it comes from that place, and we're part of that, then this is the way we need to be looking at intentions, not as goals. And we can set big intentions that span a long time. Ruth and Dee live in Ecuador. It was a dream of Dee's to live in a foreign country for years. So when they had the opportunity to move, they took it, and they're enjoying every moment. We can look at maybe changing a profession. We know we're not in the right one, and setting an intention to find that right profession. Or we can have some small but important ones, just simply, today I express love. Or today I see, like the song, I see beauty everywhere. In his book, Dr. Dyer tells how his understanding of intention evolved over the years. And like most of us, he saw intentions as motivations to do better, to be more productive or more successful. And then he read 2 sentences in the book, The Active Side of Infinity, by Carlos Castaneda. And it changed his thinking. Quote, "Intent is a force that exists in the universe. When sorcerers, those who live of the source, beckon intent, it comes to them and sets up the path for attainment, which means that sorcerers always accomplish what they set out to do." And Dr. Dyer says, when I read those 2 sentences, I was stunned by the insight and clarity it gave me about the power of intention. Imagine that intention is not something you do, but rather a force that exists in the universe as an invisible field of energy. I had never considered intention in this way before reading Castaneda's words. Most of us do interchange setting goals with intention. Like, it's my intention to complete every item on my to-do list today. That isn't an intention. It's a goal. It's a goal. An intention is similar to a goal in the sense that it gives us focus on what we want to invite into our lives. However, an intention is much more open-ended, whereas a goal has to be SMART. Have you heard of SMART? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. That's a goal. That's a goal. But intention doesn't come from the same place as a goal. Goals really are ego-driven, and it doesn't mean it's wrong to have goals. We all have goals that we want to accomplish, but they come from our human side, the side that interacts with the world around us. But we also have a divine or infinite side, and intentions are part of that side of us. Intent is a force that exists in the universe and responds to us automatically if we trust it. So an intention is like an open invitation to co-create with the universe, and it's often focused on how we want to feel instead of what we want to achieve. So when we set an intention, we let go of the expectations of how things should turn out to be, and we trust that the universe will support us. From our ego, we know exactly what we want, and we are willing to exert the effort to make it happen. And while we can accomplish a lot, we may be missing the grand in our lives because we're holding on to the good. So the intentions are the seeds that we sow. Wayne Dyer says, our intention creates our reality. Author James Redfield said, where intention goes, energy flows. So setting intention is coming into alignment with the natural flow of the universe. I found a website called MuseFlower that has some good advice about setting intentions. So I want to share a couple of them today. The first one is focus on our feelings. A lot of times we attach certain feelings to certain actions or outcomes. I want to do this so I can feel this. For example, we may think that by doing certain things or achieving a certain goal, we will feel worthy enough or validated. But in reality, sometimes those outcomes may or may not bring such feelings. So it might be better to separate the feelings and the actions or outcomes instead of trying to control how the outcome should turn out so that we feel a certain way. It's way easier and takes much less effort to focus on the feelings we want to create in the first place. So we're shifting our focus from a thing or something specific from the SMART collection, which is not in the realm of intention, to the feelings we think this specific thing will bring us. Because feelings are in the realm of intention, and that puts us in alignment with divinity, with a higher power. In the Gospel of Matthew, we read, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and everything will be added unto you." In other words, instead of exhausting our energy trying to manifest all the little parts of our life, if we focus on living from our divinity, then everything becomes available to us. The second one is let go of the how and focus on the what. When we know the feelings we want to create, the what, we do not need to know how we will get there. The how part of the equation is up to the divine forces that are at work in our lives. When we interfere with that process, we set ourselves back. Remember the little poem? As children bring their broken toys with tears for us to mend, I brought my broken dreams to God because He is my friend. But then, instead of leaving Him in peace to work alone, I hung around and tried to help with ways that were my own. At last, I snatched them back and cried, "How can you be so slow?" "My child," He said, "what could I do? You never did let go." And that's kind of what we're experiencing here. If we hang on to how it's supposed to work, then we're completely not allowing the universe that has access to infinite potential to do its work through us. So the beauty of setting intention is to co-create with the universe. We focus on the what, and the universe will show us the how. And it's really important, as Deepak Chopra says, to leave the details to the universe. The third one that they have down is listen to your intuition. Our intuition is our inner guidance system. And since it comes from a higher, more subtle part of our consciousness, it's often ignored, unheard, or misinterpreted. Our intuition is the universe's way of speaking to us. And the more we trust the universe and know it's always at work in our favor, the more powerful our intuition becomes. So our job is to learn to really listen to it. I've said before, how often do we have a nudge to do or not do something, and we brush it off only later to say, "I knew I should have," or "I shouldn't have done that." We do that all the time. Since intuition is guidance that comes from within the soul and is directly linked to the rest of the universe, when we listen and respond to it, our lives automatically become more loving and joyful. And we do find ourselves experiencing that peace that passes all understanding. Because this is where faith and trust kick in. We don't know how everything will turn out, nor can we control every situation, outcome, or events in our lives. We just have to trust the universe, or however you want to call it, and know that the universe has our back and the universe always gives us what we need. My ex-husband, Jerry, made his transition the first part of March of this year. And a couple of weeks later, there was a big fancy envelope in the mail. John was opening the mail and he said, "What do you want me to do with this?" And I said, "Oh, that's an ad, toss it." But something in me said, "No, this is important." So I said, "Never mind, let me open it and see." And it was from TIAA Craft, informing me that I was an annuity partner and that after filling out the enclosed paperwork, I would receive a pretty substantial amount of money each month for the rest of my life. So what a time to pay attention to my intuition. That stuff almost went in the trash. This close. And I thank Jerry for doing this for me. And the last one, number 4, is watch for meaningful coincidences. And we've talked about this before, but it's so appropriate here. They're the little God giggles that tell you that the universe is listening. You know, they're fun. We don't need to act on them. In fact, sometimes we shouldn't. They're simply reminders that we're not alone, that something greater than we are is taking care of us. Meaningful coincidences are things like I think of someone and they call, as a matter of fact, Joan is here today after how long being gone? And this past week, she came into my mind. I thought of her. It's no joke. I thought of her, and here she is. So those are the meaningful coincidences. You just have no idea how they come about, but they do. You need a quote for a talk, and I open a particular book, or I turn to something that on the internet, and it's right there. It's right there. I forget something. I didn't put something on the shopping list, and John comes home with it anyway. You know, to me, those are the little God giggles that keep the surprise and the joy, the wonder and the mystery in front of us. So for me, it's important to remember that we do live in two worlds. We use the power of our ego to maneuver in the world of duality. We use the power of intention when we are in tune with our divinity, our connection to spirit. You know, Jesus said, "I am in this world, but not of it." And I think that's what he meant. He lived from a higher consciousness, so he could participate in the world of duality. But he stood outside of it, knowing that there was something greater that was at work in his life and in the life of everyone. So according to Scripture, he turned water into wine at a wedding party. I mean, that's pretty worldly. But then he also said, "The kingdom of heaven is spread across the land, and men do not see it." So those are those two. He saw and lived from both sides. And I think as being on a spiritual path, I truly think that that's what we're all about, learning to maneuver in both worlds and keeping what's important in front of us at all times so that we can walk in both worlds and we can be at home in both of them. Thank you. Namaste.
This song is quite meditative, so if you wish to remain seated, you're welcome to. Ta-da! Goes like this. I trust myself, I know the way. I trust myself, I know the way. In everything I do and say, I trust myself, I know the way. I trust myself, I know the way. I follow my own path every day. trust myself. I know the way. I follow my own path every day. I trust myself. I know the way. I trust myself. I know the way in everything I do and say. I trust myself. I know the way. I trust myself. I know the way. I follow my own path every day.
So it's time for our offering. What do we do? And so I ask you to join me in our offering affirmation at the left-hand side of our bulletin. My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, Donna. And thank you to all of you who, yeah, it's trying to get away. Okay. So thank you for your generosity that allows us to be a beneficial presence here, and it allows us to make this center successful in all that it does. It's a bit early, but let's close out and have more time to talk. So right now I'm simply knowing that God is all there is. That this divine intelligence flows through all things, directs all things when we're in alignment with it. So I speak my word this day for each and every one of us, that we are aligned with the power and presence of God, and our day and week run smoothly and joyfully from that place of intention. I speak my word for anyone experiencing any kind of a challenge, and know that the power and presence of Spirit is at work even there. I give thanks for the opportunity to be a part of this incredible spiritual community, and to simply know that we are blessed beyond measure as we say together, and so it is. Thank you all so very much. Let's stand and sing Stand.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are living a new world now. So let there be peace.